Hi friends, and welcome to this new build. This is going to be the most challenging build I have ever attempted. You guys have seen my Florida to Bahamas adventures on small skiff boats. This is going to be one you are not going to want to miss. You know, I say that all the time, but there is a lot of good stuff in this video. In this video, we are starting our Florida to the Bahamas in a small boat powered by an electric motor. You're going to meet some of my friends. We're going on a road trip on Old Red, and yeah, let the planning and building begin. Let's do this. All right, so here we go. Let's take a look at this bad boy. So this is, I think it's a vintage Starcraft. Trying to make this played out. So, well, got some leaves in it. A couple dents just from all the water weight fell off the trailer. And it's sitting right here. Right on this fender. That dented it a little bit. And then there's another up front. You can see it sitting right on this beam. So it gave it a little bit of an indentation. I shouldn't mess with it too much. But overall, I mean, so it's filled with water. There's no water leaking from it, so it's watertight. That's kind of a good thing. I like this little valve piece. Looks like this just sits right on there. That's kind of sweet. Oh yeah. So this thing's gonna sit low to the water line. There's definitely not much freeboard here, but this is made for fresh water and little rivers, lakes, whatnot. It'll be good enough for a test run. What do you guys think? What do you think? This will be my first aluminum project boat on the channel. What do you guys think I'm going to do with this thing? So there's probably plenty of YouTube channels and groups where people build out these aluminum boats. I've seen a couple of them on Tiny Boat Nation. If you haven't seen their YouTube channel, it's pretty sweet. They do all sorts of kits for aluminum boats, and you can deck them out and you can add all sorts of cool stuff. And you know what? Here it is. Time is now, so we're gonna do it. I'm gonna put my own spin. I've been excited to do an aluminum boat build and some fiberglass in certain ways, things I want to add to this. And I've got some sketches, some ideas I've been working on for a while. So I'm gonna put it back on the trailer properly, pull it out of here. So I know you're wondering why in the world I chose an aluminum boat, especially one that's 50, 60 years old, to cross from Florida to the Gulf Stream. Well, the first box I wanted to check off in this build was something super lightweight. I wanted something that had volume, that was going to sit high on the water and start as a good platform. You guys know from past videos, I have no problems cutting a boat down, putting it into the shape I want. So I figured, you know what? This is a boat my buddy Steve had. We worked out a horse trade and, well, here we are. Okay, so now that we're here with the John boat, I really need to do a test run. I need a baseline. I need to get an idea. Now, I ran this with a little 6 horsepower just to see how it did, and it did amazing. It got on plane with just partial throttle, and it was really quick with the 6 horsepower. Obviously, that's a lot of power. You know, this is a pretty big deal to cross the Gulf Stream on an electric motor, especially with electric outboards beginning to gain popularity. There's a lot of pushback on the e-motors right now, I feel. But it's like anything. There's a time and place for all things. You know, electric cars, gas cars, hybrids. And I really want to see what the boundaries are on electric. So this is where we're at. Before I eliminate a trolling motor out of the equation, I've watched a lot of videos with guys with trolling motors that are getting, you know, 3-4 miles per hour and not at full throttle, and they're getting 5-6 hours on a 100 amp hour lithium battery, which is only a 25 pound battery. So, you know, if I do some math, we're talking about 50 miles from Miami to Bimini Yes, there's some current, there's wind, there's waves, you know, there's a lot of factors that I need to start testing and figuring out. So what I want to do today is just a baseline run. I've got a trolling motor, 100 amp hour battery. I want to put it in here and see really how this boat will do with that motor. And all right, well, I've never seen people at this boat ramp. Today, there's people at the boat ramp. It's all good. So this battery right here, you might have seen this battery in some of my past videos, but this is the REDODO 100 amp hour mini battery. It weighs about 25 pounds. There's a lot of advantages to lithium iron phosphate, and that's what this is. Not to be confused with straight lithium batteries. Straight lithium batteries are the ones that are super sensitive to moisture and exploding and all the stuff that everybody spreads as rumors about lithium being so bad. That's really related to earlier lithium batteries. Lithium iron phosphate batteries like these are incredibly safer. These are super safe. I mean, they're sealed. I believe this has an IP65 waterproof rating or water resistant rating. I have had this battery, REDODO sent me this about a year ago, and I have put it through the ringer. I have used it in the little salvage video where I pumped out my buddy's boat. I've used it for powering a compressor with an inverter to actually scuba dive. I've used this to start small outboard engines. I used this through the Bahamas for over a month last summer. I put this battery through hell. I don't wash it, I don't anything. And so a year has passed. I want to run it for a bit and see what the voltage is at. But really, my biggest concern with this Skiff is, you know, how's it going to be in the water with a trolling motor? Well, she floats super light, super skinny. I mean, this thing, with the smallest bit of effort, just slices through the water. So, I don't know, what's your guesstimate? How fast do you think this thing will go with this trolling motor? I don't know. Yeah, it's not bad. It's kind of like a super wide canoe is how it feels. Let's see what it does with the motor. Got this tiller extension on here. Whoa! All right, reverse. All right, I'm going at full speed right now. I mean, we're kind of cooking along. Going into the wind, a little bit of wind. I don't know. I feel like we're probably only doing about 2 or 3 miles an hour. I'm gonna do the navionics on my phone and see what speed we're getting. So there definitely is a difference in where I stand. So I'm standing right now in the center. But when I move forward, picks up about 0.2, 0.3 miles per hour. So I'm hitting right now about 3.6 miles per hour. Not bad. I mean, for a 30 pound motor. I'm also going against the wind. So let's see what it does with the wind now. Turn it around. Standing midship, full speed. I mean, it's moving. I'm getting about 4.3 miles an hour with the wind. So I mean, 30 foot-pound thrust motor, 12 volt. So as you go with the higher volt motor, 24 volt, 36, you're gonna be a lot more efficient. I'd imagine too with like brushless trolling motors, but you know, the price becomes really expensive. Headed back to the truck. You know, I think the average would probably be about 3.8 miles per hour, full throttle, in a freshwater canal. So yeah, would this work in the ocean? Yeah. Would it get there? Yeah, with enough batteries. But do I want, you know, realistically, there's the Gulf Stream current. I already planned on leaving from further south so that I don't have to go against it and crab walk. But let's be realistic. If I could average 3 miles per hour and I'm doing a 50-mile trip, we're talking about a legitimate, you know, 17, 18, 19-hour trip if everything goes smooth at 3 miles per hour. I mean, I'm down. I've done crazier stuff, but I'm gonna have to look into some options. Maybe test out some bigger trolling motors. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Bigger trolling motor. That's the next step for testing. So now it's back to the drawing board. I am super happy with how the boat did, as far as stability, as far as how easily it traveled through the water. I mean, just a rinky-dink little trolling motor. Now what it comes down to is I really got to talk to some people that know about electric motors, trolling motors, especially a trolling motor versus an electric outboard. There's a ton of videos that pop up on YouTube, but I know somebody, my buddy Wayne. I don't know how many of you guys follow Wayne the Boat Guy, but he's been a friend and a mentor of sorts since my channel really first started. He's really been a great sounding board and somebody that I talk to once in a blue moon and sometimes more often than not. But he's done quite a bit with these electric outboards recently, and he's done some comparison videos. I'll definitely include a link to Wayne's channel. Okay, so I just got off the phone with Wayne. He's such an awesome dude. He said, listen, Forrest, you need to go electric outboard. You do not need to use a trolling motor. Number one, the cost of a trolling motor to do what I want it to do is going to be through the roof, thousands of dollars. And for that, you can buy an electric outboard. So I said, all right, Wayne, what are you thinking? What kind of outboard? Wayne has tested them out. So Wayne gave me the lowdown. He said, listen, Forrest, I did a test video on the Newport 300 a year ago. His battery pack that he got with the Newport engine, Newport gave it to him because they wanted him to test it out and use it and do a video on it, which his video on the Newport, by the way, click the link right here. That video has almost 1 million views. So it's a really thorough review, and actually I highly recommend you check it out. So this is why, because, all right, so my phone died. It's charged back up. So Wayne said, listen, Forrest, don't spend the money on a new e-outboard. I've got this one sitting here. The battery is bad, but you can build your own battery bank and power the motor off of that. That's one of the cool things about the Newport e-outboard is that you can build whatever battery bank you want, big or small, and it will run off of that. He said, listen, I've got this motor. I'm going to give it to you, Forrest. Yes, Wayne is giving me the Newport 300. He's giving me all the stuff with it. I'm going to build my own battery bank. Here's the problem. Wayne is up in Maryland and I am down here in South Florida. So being the nuts we are and having funky schedules, we basically just set up a meeting for next week. And Wayne hopped on his computer during our phone call and he found the coolest spot for us to meet halfway. So it's a little over 1,000 miles between us. So we'll each drive about 520, 540 miles. And yeah, we're going for a road trip. All right, so when you got to drive 8 hours with no cruise control, this is what you do. We got a Buc-ee's coming up, well, 39 miles. If you haven't been to a Buc-ee's, you are missing out. Ain't that right, Travis? Oh man, I'm excited. So in case you haven't noticed, you probably haven't, but this is what I'm dealing with in the Dodge. My speedometer says, my speedometer is broken. says I'm doing 100 miles an hour, and I'm doing 65. So I've got my little, I actually use my Navionics app just for distance and speed. And my fuel gauge doesn't work. My oil pressure gauge doesn't work. Oh wait, I don't have a radio either. No radio? 8 hours? Oh man. Cold Gatorade. Yeah! All right. For those of you that have never heard of this place, welcome to south of the border. Hey, look at this. This is crazy. Too awesome. So Wayne, I already saw him when I was on. He's right over here, under the black sign. All right, so I have been so excited. Number one, to meet my buddy Wayne. Everybody, hey. This is my buddy Wayne. If you follow his channel, Wayne the Boat Guy, then you already know how awesome Wayne is and what great content he puts out. If you don't follow Wayne the Boat Guy, then you need to click on the links in this video because, well, Wayne is in this video a lot, and he's a big part of this build and it coming to fruition. So, I mean, this is like Christmas time right now, honestly.
It is.
So we're gonna pretend that I haven't seen any of this stuff, and this is ready, go. Check this out. So this is the Bad Mama Jamma, the Newport NT
300.
NT 3 million. Yes. Look at this thing. Oh my gosh.
3 horsepower.
So it is definitely it's cool. It just looks so futuristic. Look at that. That is really cool. So it's really like an outboard. I mean,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Quality parts, stainless.
Yeah. And you're gonna like this. This is right up your alley right here.
Woo-hoo! Look at this thing. I don't know if the video is picking it up. This is carbon fiber. Wow.
We can pop that right on there.
Dude, look at that. I mean, that's a 3 foot maybe?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. How cool is that? And this could go on any skiff, but for this, if it's perfect, and for this build, that is going to be awesome. Wow.
Yeah, and the brand matches, so that way, you know, because I know that's important to you.
It is. Very, very.
So this is if you want to tip it up.
Gotcha.
And it should
lock.
I think it clicks in. There it is, all the way up.
Cool.
So it clicks all the way up out of the water.
Yeah.
And that's this side split. They tend to overheat when they're out in the hot sun.
Yeah.
They get angry.
The latest and greatest ones that I've had, I think the highest I had was an 8. And then. So after Wayne showed me everything he had brought with the Newport, I actually had brought some things for him from Florida for a project he's been working on. It's a wooden boat he's been building from scratch. It's a really cool build that you guys need to check out. So we got to hang out for a little bit. Of course, we needed to take advantage of the phenomenal photo opportunities at south of the border. So we got some cool shots. We ate some dinner, and then the next morning was back home. Heading back to Florida. Holy moly. Well, made it back to Florida. I am absolutely whooped. That ended up being about 1,150 miles round trip. So quite the haul for old Red here. Truck did good, just over 24 miles per gallon the whole trip. So can't really complain. Yeah, so now it's on with, I mean, oh, so much. I'm so excited. Wayne, thank you. I am absolutely stoked to get this build underway. right, look what I just got. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna unbox these REDODO lithium batteries, and yeah, I'm gonna walk you through the process of syncing these together and getting them ready to create our 36 volt battery bank. Little bolts here. Look at that. Oh man. What I've got here, I want to show you. So this is one of the REDODO batteries. I've owned this battery for over a year now. You can see the fading between the two. The sticker on that and that. It's the same exact battery. It's the 100 amp hour mini. Literally, it's identical. Wait, is that the same size? Yep. I have been incredibly satisfied with this battery. And now that I put them through a really solid test, as you can see, I was super stoked to get 3 brand new REDODO batteries for this project to be my power bank for the electric outboard. All right, so I just went through the instructions. First thing that I need to do is charge these batteries up. So I'm gonna charge them one at a time. I'm gonna test the voltage first, and then charge them one at a time to full capacity. Once all of my batteries are at full capacity, I'm then gonna hook them all up in parallel, which means I'm gonna connect all the positive terminals together, all in one line, and then all the negative terminals together. And then what this is gonna do is this is gonna allow these batteries to get within balance. It says to do it 12 to 24 hours. So I wanna make sure that, you know, lithium batteries charge so fast and are so sensitive to discharge and charge. I wanna make sure that all the cells are in unison so that when I go to pull a load off of it or when I go to charge this whole bank, certain cells aren't charging faster than other cells. So that's the plan. Let me hook these up to a charger and get them charging. All right, so good morning. So here we go. Today is the big day. Our batteries have been syncing for the last 24 hours. So now they're equalized. They're ready. We've got our 36 volt system. We are going to mount the Newport engine, and we're going for a test run this morning. This is the real deal. 36 volt Newport NT300. We're going for a ride, so let's set it up. We are ready to go. I just need to find something that's gonna hold these. This is why Barney and I keep stuff, because we know there's always gonna be another purpose for it. So I think this will be a perfect battery box. Moment of truth. Oh my God. Look at that. I mean, that is like perfect. Barney, that's the Tim factor. Wow. I mean, that is a perfect fit. Custom battery box.
Bam. 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 Oh man.
Okay, so this is how we have it configured. To the motor, we're gonna go positive, negative. So we're wiring this in series, which means we want to make more voltage than the 12 volts. These are each 12 volt batteries. So if we wired them in parallel, which is how we balance them, all the positives go together, all the negatives go together. That would triple your battery storage. So it would make a 100 amp hour times 3, so 300 amp hours of 12 volts. If you want to multiply your voltage, you then wire these in series, which is going to be negative to positive, and so forth. Pow! All right, this is the final configuration. Pretty simple. So this is our plug going straight to the motor. positive off the, basically your two farthest batteries provide your positive, your negative. Boom. And now we've got our lead to go straight to the motor. I mean, tell me this doesn't go perfect with this little skiff, with this boat. Old cooler. Oh, that's just an old cooler. Pow! Brand new technology, REDODO Lithium Batteries. Oh, man. All right. So this is pretty cool with this. So it goes, I love that you can go up and down with this. Stops there, but then if you pull it, then you can put it down to collapse. I guess get out of the way. So this is the kill switch for this. It's a little magnetic. It's the downside. You don't want to lose it. But little lanyard kill switch. Motor turns off if that pops off. So now it's really this simple. Just hook up the battery cable there, battery cable here. You guys ready? Gonna be the first power up. Fire in the hole. So we are, I think we're live. Oh shoot, there we go. So look at that, it automatically, can you guys see that? 40 volts. Oh, so it's got built-in gauge. I guess that makes sense. 13.3 each, or 13.4 is what we're at. Times 3, right? And we've got, let's power this thing up. Should we give it some power? Holy shit! This thing's hauling. I wish you guys could see it. Wow. Okay, and what does it say here? 100%, 43 watts. So, yes, it tells you. So, Barney, it does have it. Barney and I had our discussion. So yes, one of the things I've been talking about, Barney and I actually were having a discussion on, does it tell you what's being drawn? You know, 100% power doesn't mean anything. It's all the load on electric motors. So, for example, if I'm rolling downhill in an electric golf cart and I punch it, my range is going to be a lot farther. Yes, the motor's running at full RPM, but there's very little load, so a little draw on your batteries. Same thing here. So then if you're going uphill, you could have 100% throttle, but like a massive draw on your batteries because they're under load. So this is really cool. It tells me what's being drawn. So right now it's drawing 1 watt just being turned on. And then as I give it some juice, very little power. I like that, it's pretty smooth. There's a delay on it. Here's something kind of cool. I really do like the tilting mechanism on this. They're all high grade stainless. But when you tilt it, automatically sits between the, whatever the hell, clamp, tighteners, handles, you know what I'm saying? Which doesn't allow the motor to twist while you're driving. So, yeah. All right. We are go time. So exciting. Here we go. It's test run time. I'm really like nervous, excited. This is the first time I've ever used an outboard. So, you know, I can watch all the videos. Lord knows I've watched a ton of YouTube videos and reviews and all that good stuff. But really, it's like anything in life, until you do it and, you know, feel it yourself, you just don't know. So I'm really interested to see how this thing's going to do. Just looking at it right now, looks like it's actually balanced. How it's sitting, not bad. I like it. So, as a recap, with the trolling motor, 30 foot-pounds, we got 3.5 to 4.2 miles per hour. What do you think we're going to do with this thing? I really don't. I don't even know what prediction to make. What do you think? How fast do you think this boat is going to go with the 3 horsepower motor? I feel like it's going to be a super tease, in the sense that, like, full throttle, it's like on the verge of wanting to go on plane. That sounds kind of probably optimistic, but that's really how I feel it's going to do. The beauty of sometimes a bigger boat opposed to like a 10-foot boat. People think, oh, let's get a 10-foot boat, put a big motor. The problem is your boat sits so stern heavy, it just becomes like a plow, and you really need to overcome that, or have something like a hydrofoil, something to lift the stern up. But when you do a really big boat that's already balanced, you kind of are just asking the boat to scoot across. And if it has a ton of volume, then the boat's kind of already sitting on plane, if that makes sense. So I don't know, this is going to be really cool. Could you imagine if you like spray painted this motor to like camo or something? Who would ever guess that this old John boat with the old Coleman cooler, you know, it's got more technology and, you know, I mean, God, a couple $1,000s worth of gear right there, and electric stuff. But let's do it. Let's get on this puppy and go for a cruise. Oh, there we go. All right, we got power. 40.2, 40.1 is what we're starting with. Cover up our little sleeper. We got our Newport carbon fiber tiller extension. I know you're eyeing this thing, Kyle. Yeah, man. Look at that. Boom. So I want to see how this thing is balanced with me sitting in different spots. Oh, I gotta turn it on. Whoa, holy moly. Got some power. Wow. Instant power in this thing is kind of, I'm barely going like 10% and it wants to go. So I want to get a video of what it looks like here, and then with me, maybe forward a little bit, how this spot would be. Maybe a little bit better. Here we go. Probably a quarter throttle. Holy moly! This thing is going! Holy! Look at the wave! Wow! We are ripping! All right, so what I'm gonna do right now, I've got to see what the speed is on this. I'm really curious. Partial throttle speed, full throttle speed. So let's see what we got. And then I want to look at what it's drawing for power. So what we've got is at 50% throttle, running about 440 to 500 watts power draw, just over 5 miles an hour. Let's say 5.0 is the average. When I went up to 100% throttle, the current or the draw was about 1,300 watts, and the speed did increase a lot, up to 6.8, 6.9 miles per hour was what I was getting. So, you know, that's almost a 2 mile per hour gain, but the power consumption was over twice as much. So yeah, that already doesn't make sense. If I'm creating a big wave, then I'm losing a lot of my energy is getting used to push the water instead of be on top of the water. So when you look at like really skinny boats running through the water, like a Hobie Cat, for example, they're slicing through the water. They're super hydrodynamic and they're not making any wave. You know, that's the beauty of a displacement hull. This is a planing hull, and we're wasting a lot of energy just going because of the hull design. You know, could we extend this hull and then taper it back to be super narrow in the back? That would smooth out the wave and become more efficient. But we're definitely wasting energy right now. Again, I'm gonna have to get on land and do some math, do some crunching and figure out, you know, what this is going to be capable of, this configuration, and maybe this just isn't the right setup. You know, I'm not gonna act like I'm surprised. Maybe I was hopeful, but you know, we're just gonna have to build a long skinny boat to go with this motor that's gonna be way more efficient. So here's an interesting one. At 20% throttle, only drawing 110 watts, and our speed is 3.0 miles per hour. So that's a mega one to think about. Look at the behind the boat, how smooth, no wave. It's efficiency right there. And it makes sense. I mean, look at the numbers. Wow. So that concludes our test run. I'm kind of speechless right now. I'm not gonna lie. This on so many levels, the power of this thing, the efficiency, like just what a learning curve just in what we just did. Power consumption, speed. Yeah, we came in a little hot, made a little wave. So much we just learned from that run. I'm just mind blown. Wayne, thank you so much, buddy. Like, this motor is badass. Like, yeah, I need to get this thing on the trailer. I need to make some notes. I'm glad I recorded a lot of the performance stuff because I'm just mind overload right now with everything. Like, this is gonna work. We are making it from Florida to the Bahamas on this electric outboard, 100%. Yeah, this is going down. So let's get this thing on the trailer and keep moving forward. All right, so that was quite the test run. You know, I'm already coming to a lot of conclusions just off the information and data we just collected just from that run in this aluminum boat. Although this did really well with this motor, I really want to aim for that 5 mile per hour, but with like half the energy consumption that this was requiring. So I really feel that with a more hydrodynamic displacement hull, we can create something that's going to hit those numbers, that 100 to 150 watt power consumption and 5 miles per hour speed. So time to call in some reinforcements. I'm calling my buddy Barney. You guys have seen some of my skipper shipper shirts and some of my past videos. So Barney, Krista, his wife, Travis, they own Skipper Shipper, which is a transporting company, transports boats. And so a lot of those funky things and things you see, and you've asked about the property that some of my builds are on, where you see all the big boats, the trucks, you see Waterworld, the magnificent, ultimate cruising sailboat yacht. Well, that's Barney's, and something that we've been working on for years. Yeah, buddy. What do you say? But Barney is a huge part of everything I do here. He's kind of like man behind the scenes, but he's also probably one of the most inspiring guys that I know on a lot of different levels. We love sitting down and just nerding out and coming up with crazy, wild ideas. He's all about repurposing. He has some amazing boats that for the most part are all built off of repurposed parts. And, you know, he's a visionary. He is the ultimate left brain, right brain human. So he's a left-handed dude, super creative, but also very analytical, and he's just as crazy too. He's a wild dude. But I'm gonna hit Barney up. Let's go for a trip, maybe go see Barney, and I'm gonna get some input. And of course, in true DIY fashion, it's got to be, you know, something repurposed and home built. So that's what we're doing. That's not a boat.
What's up, buddy? It's still dry as shit out there. The pond's like...
Really? I haven't seen it in a minute. Well, I mean... Okay, so we'll jump right in. Barney,
here we go.
My man.
We're gonna do this.
So Barney has already, so he knows what the,
Yeah.
to try to,
I got the gist of it.
He's
We're
got the
trying to
gist.
go over
We
there
share all
on
our
with a 4
dumb, crazy
horsepower
stuff.
electric motor, which really trims down the field on what you can use.
Yeah, so.
Because it's got to be long, it's got to be light, it's got to be able to take a wave.
See?
A solar power would be good.
Yeah.
And a pair of Bahamas. So he calls me. I'm all over him. He goes, hold on a second. We're on the same page. He goes, save it. So I go, I already have a flat back in it. And it came from him.
Yeah, ironically.
Ironically.
Because that's
And
what we do.
so then my neighbor stole it. Now it lives in this pond, and obviously it's sank a couple of times. And anyway, couple of Amas on the outside, full deck over, a little electric motor. I think it's doable on the right day.
For sure.
And you're gonna need a guardian angel. I don't know what his name's gonna be. Ready? Wait, here we go. Superman. Oh, it is pivoting back there.
Yeah, but still.
But still.
And
That's what you need. A pair of Amas so it doesn't want to roll over. Barely touch, skimming the water.
yeah. And this is what I just shared with you guys. Like, anytime I overthink, like one of the beautiful things about Barney's mind is keeping it simple. Kiss, keep it simple, stupid. He always can just, hey, puppy pup, come here. Always have the ability to just like step back and be like, no, why overcomplicate? Why think too much? Why build something that's, you know, like.
And I know we know where things are.
They've got the gist.
Yeah.
So I hope you've enjoyed this video, meeting my friends. Special thank you to Wayne, the boat guy. Wayne, I appreciate so much you helping to make this build possible. lending your knowledge, your experience, and of course, the awesome Newport NT300. I'm so excited where this is going. So thank you, Wayne. Guys, if you haven't checked out his channel, right at the end of this video here is a link to his channel and one of his videos. I promise you're gonna really enjoy his content. So as always, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of your channel love, your likes, your comments, your subscriptions. They help the channel tremendously. After all, I do these videos for you. So hit those buttons, do those things. They really make a difference. And you know what? Hey, at the end of the day, hitting the like button, hitting the subscription, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps the channel out tremendously. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And until next time, I'll see you guys soon.
What's the current status?
Very low on fuel. 2 shot glasses.
Maybe one.
We're out of our minds. Here we go. Hopefully there's enough fuel. Oh, not good.
Bone dry. No. No.
God
No.
dang.
It's too deep to walk too.
I can't believe it. Damn it. No.
The wind's blowing us in the right direction.
Yeah. We couldn't. I mean, there's the flat.
Yeah.
Well,